going on, YouTube? Welcome to another video. Welcome to a vlog. Today we're going to be talking about something juicy. Juicy, like Juicy Couture, okay? You guys remember that brand? Does that brand still exist? I don't even know. But I'm really excited to discuss with you today how much, on average, does competing cost. Now, these costs can vary a ton, and you'll see what I mean as we get deeper into this video. So this is just an average and an estimate, okay? So take it with what you will. It could be lower, it could be higher. If you're thinking about competing yourself and maybe it's going to be your first show, some of these costs, you're going to have to take into consideration and see really with between the time and finances if it's the best time to compete. Now, if you are someone that is not planning on competing and is just watching this out of pure enjoyment and asking yourself why the heck someone would ever put themselves through this and do this, then grab your popcorn, grab a snack, and let's dive into this. Okay, so first we're going to be talking about the initial sign up for a show. So every federation has their own price, if you will, and own membership. So kind of think of like Costco. You have to have the membership to just even get in, and then you can buy whatever you want in Costco, right? It's kind of the same thing with bodybuilding federation. So there's NPC, which is the most popular one. There's also the INPA, and that's the Natural League. So INBA, PNBA. Yeah, it's a lot of letters going on there. And my dyslexicness does not do well with that. So the INBA is a natural federation. NPC is, there's probably a mix of enhanced athletes and natural athletes. And it's probably the most popular bikini bodybuilding and one of the most popular just bodybuilding shows in general. So just the membership fee alone for it averages to about $100 per membership, and it's good for 1 year. So if you sign up in January of 2022, you have until January 2023. What does this mean? This means that basically if you do more shows, you kind of get more out of it versus just one show. Basically, you're paying one show, the membership fee, and that's it. So for NPC, I believe it's $120 for the year, and then for INBA, it is $90. So we're going to take the average of those two numbers, and it comes out to $105. Okay, so $105 for that. Now, that's just the membership. Per show, I think this can also average, but I think it's around $100 per show. So of course, if you do more shows in the season or in the year, then your price is going to be more, okay? Your cost is going to be more. So that's another thing to take into consideration. Now, on top, cherry on top of this, each show has different categories. So you could just do one category. You could just do like Bikini Open, which is just like the traditional bikini, like lineup, right? The category. You can also do novice, which is typically people that are newer to the bodybuilding. And then depending on what federation and league that you do, the INPA has other, INBA, sorry, have other categories. They have like a ball gown category. They have like a sports model, I think, category. They have a couples category. I think it also depends on like the show, but each category ranges from like $80 to $100. So now you have your membership, you have of like what federation you're doing. Some people might even do two federations, even if they wanted to. So you have your membership, and then you have per show, and then how many categories you're doing per show. So easily this can add up to more than just a couple $100. It can be $500, $600, almost maybe close to $1,000, depending, again, how many shows and how many categories you are doing. Now, with the natural federation, the natural shows, they do require a drug test to make sure that you are natural and you don't have anything in your system. These drug tests are about $75, and they don't cover it. You cover it. So that goes on top of signing up per person. Okay, this is not cheap. This is like a concert ticket, okay? And it's like you don't really have a choice if you're going and supporting a loved one. So for example, Tanner, my husband, coming to my show, since we share our money because we're married, technically that's like an extra expense for us for him to be getting into the show for $80, right? So it's just another cost to take into account, is how much for family and loved ones. Now, you might not be paying for your whole family or all your friends, but again, it's just another cost to take into account. Now we're going to talk about the tan. Okay, the tan is like mandatory. I don't actually know if it's mandatory, if they won't let you compete if you don't have a tan, but I've never seen anyone not have a tan, like the stage tan, on stage, right? So, and you also wouldn't go through like a whole prep, a whole 16, 12-week process, hardcore dieting and a lot of cardio and working out and all of this to then just not get the tan and not like win the show, right? I don't know how that would work, but I think they would definitely deduct probably points from, you know, your overall score if you didn't have the tan. Now, each venue, each show will have someone who's kind of sponsoring the show or whoever is, you know, in charge of tan. Now, the good thing about having your tan be done at the location is that there's so many layers that get packed on from like multiple layers of the tan that it can like smear easily and things can just happen. So they will do touch-ups for free for you, and that's a huge benefit. And then they'll also do it in layers, of course. So you'll get your like first coat on, and then you'll get your second coat on, and so on and so forth. Now, some people do their own tan, and this does save them money. It does take quite a bit of time because you're layering. And also, if you need touch-ups, then you got to do them yourself. So I find value in getting the tan done because I just would like to not worry about that. But then at the same time, I haven't actually done the application myself. And if I practice beforehand, then maybe that would put my mind at ease. So of course, doing your own tan is cheaper, maybe $20 for the bottle, maybe $10 for the bottle, versus the tan at the location is going to be $100. Yes, $100. It is expensive. I mean, it's nice you are tan after the show. After the show, you shower and I think a layer comes off, but then you kind of have a nice tan for a few weeks. But that's $100 just for the tan, okay? And now we're going to be diving more into the beauty aspect of it all. So men don't really have the luxury that women have when it comes to competing and really getting ready and really paying a pretty price. Now, I'm not even including getting like your eyebrows done. I'm not even including like all of those other extra things if you need to get like your hair done before or anything prepped, hair dyed, touched up, your roots, things that you already kind of do maintenance wise. We're just going to be talking about for the show specifically. So for your makeup, you can do your own makeup or you can hire someone to do your makeup. Now, again, you're going to be a very, most likely, maybe not everyone, you're going to be a really different color from like your face. You're going to be more of like an orangey, like tan. So you want to make sure that your face is like somewhat-ish matching-ish and there's not too much of a contrast, right? So with that being said, hiring a makeup artist, and also it's just very glam and extreme, and if you're not good at makeup, then it's probably going to be really hard because the judges and people are they're kind of far away, right? And then when you get really up close to like a competitor, then you can kind of start seeing like really how much makeup they're wearing. So if you do your own makeup, you get your own lashes, and you get your own foundation, maybe it's $30. But if you hire a makeup artist, maybe it's like $100 to $300. So for the sake of this video, we're just going to say the average is $150 for a makeup artist. Now, hair. I think it's like been so sorry about that. My camera decided to like overheat and just stop recording. So I turned it off and let it just cool down for a little bit. Like this video if you think I should get a new camera. Just like it. Okay, so where were we? We were talking about hair. Now we're going to be talking about nails. Of course, you can go to a nail salon, get your nails done, manicure, pedicure, full set, bada bing, bada boom, with the tip and everything. And that could be, what, $80, $100, or you can get the press-on ones, or like get gel nail polish, a natural look, a natural color, for maybe $10 to $20. So really depends on there. Let's say the average for nails is $60 for nails. Now we have jewelry. So when you're competing, earrings, bracelets, and rings, I believe they're kind of like a certain look in a way. So of course you can be spending way more if you get like the real stuff, but if you just kind of get like the generic stuff off Amazon, you can even rent jewelry from people as well. We're gonna say the average for that go anywhere between $50 and $100. We'll say $75 for jewelry. Now, bikini. So the bikini can be one of your most expensive expenses, okay? It could be one of the biggest expenses. So you can rent a bikini for maybe $150 or so. That's what I'm personally doing for my show. Or you can buy a used one off of like Poshmark Marketplace for around 300 to 400. Or you can buy a new one from like Toxic Angel Bikini, and those are $650 plus tax, so close to $700 for the bikini. So hopefully, if you're buying one of those really expensive ones, you're just gonna like wear it over and over again, or rent it out to people, or resell it. I don't know, but I'm just renting mine for $150. We'll say the average though is $400 for a bikini, because some people rent, some people buy used, some people buy new. Okay, so now we have heels. So heels, of course, again, can be way more expensive depending on the brand that you get, but basic, pretty much generic competition heels, mine were $65 on Amazon, and I feel like that's pretty fair for the average cost. Now, I'm going to go over a few things that people typically have already been buying or have when it comes to competing, but I still want to include these costs because this still does count within the investment that you're making in yourself, in your health, in your goals, and just in this prep journey, right? So the first one's groceries. You're going to buy groceries over a 12 to 16 week period anyways, but with prep, usually you're on some sort of meal plan. You're eating the same foods, which can maybe help save money, but also it's really specific foods. So fish and meat, especially beef and steak right now, are not cheap at all. So that can, if you're eating more of those than you normally would, then it can make your groceries go up in price. Same with vegetables and maybe even berries or fruits that aren't necessarily in season. They can be more expensive. So groceries kind of like hit or miss, but let's just say on average your groceries are $250 a month for everything ranging from, again, meat and fish and berries and veggies and your carb sources, seasonings, maybe 0-calorie drinks and 0-calorie sauces that you're going to be putting on your food to maybe add some flavor and variety in there. Now, supplements too, people are probably already buying supplements, but just to take into account maybe an average of $100 a month between protein and post-workout BCAAs and pre-workout vitamins, all of that good stuff. And then now talking about Bodywork, so people might already be doing this too if they're not on prep, but maybe when you are on prep, you want your recovery to be optimal, and so you're going to invest in some body work. What do I mean by that? Like massages, scraping, cupping, all of that stuff that's going to really help like blood flow and just your recovery in general. And those can be about they range again, but I'm just taking an average of $100 for a 60-minute session. Okay, and then a gym membership, those can be, $100, $200, maybe $20. I said an average of $50 for like the typical commercial gym nowadays. So those are kind of things that you're probably already buying if you're going to be competing, but there's still expenses to take into account. Now we're going to be talking about also the more costly but the very beneficial aspects of prep, and those are coaches. So coaches that know what they're doing. If you hire a coach that maybe has more experience or has like their pro card or has competed in a lot of shows, so your coach can be your biggest investment, and it can also be the most valuable to you and for your prep. So coaches' prices range dramatically depending on how much experience they have and just what they are charging, and for their time and for their worth and for the results that they're going to guarantee that they're going to get you. So it can range. I didn't even know exactly how to estimate this, so I'm just throwing numbers out there. I'm thinking for a 12-week prep, for instance, it can range anywhere from $400 to maybe even $1,600, maybe even $2,000. But I'm going to just say the average for 12-week prep is $750. I'm going to say for 3 months, $750, $250 a month. I feel like they would be higher than that, but I'm just playing conservative here. So let's just say $750 a month. Of course, now if you coach yourself, then that is a cheaper expense, but there is just a lot more pressure on you, and it's already a hard process and it's stressful. So I definitely recommend investing in a coach. And I'm getting coached right now by Coach Massey. I will go ahead and put his Instagram down below. He's amazing. Now for my second coach is my posing coach, and I love her. She's so fierce. She's so confident. She knows inside and out the workings of posing, and without her, I would be so lost. I will also put her Instagram down below as well, but you know that those sessions can range anywhere depending on how many sessions that you need and what the cost is, and if you're doing FaceTime or in person or group coaching with posing, it can range so much. So we're just going to say on average anywhere from $50 to $500. Let's just say $200 for this example. Now, lastly is the travel for the show. If you're doing a show and it's a 10-minute drive from your house, you're going to be spending a lot less money from a hotel, gas, plane, versus people that are traveling from farther away. They're going to need a hotel for a night, 2 nights, and then also a plane ticket. So again, being conservative on this number, I put travel $200, but of course that can range anywhere from $500 to maybe even $1,000 for your travel. So based on all of the average numbers. Now you can see drastically is the right word, drastically, I don't know, both, that these numbers can range tremendously based off the average of everything that we just went over. It comes out to $2,500 plus the groceries and the supplements and the gym membership and all of that for the 12-week span. That comes out to $1,500. So it's $4,000 total, but some of this stuff is what you'd already be purchasing anyway. So that's totally fine. There are ways that you can save on the price of competing, like we mentioned in this video, and then of course it can be more expensive. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you got value from it. Let me know down below if you're thinking about competing yourself, and also what the part of the video was you liked the most, or what surprised you the most if you're surprised at something. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one.